Now I have the honor to introduce Larry Yang, another co-founder of DBMC, and the one individual in this country most responsible for the spread of what's in this room to communities of color.
So I'm going to start by paraphrasing an activist and revolutionary of our country, Thomas Paine, by saying that these are times that try our souls. And they are also times that challenge our spiritual and secular practice. One of the challenges is what is missing from this ubiquitous term of mindfulness. And that is an equal emphasis on ethics and integrity. Because we can be mindful of anything. A more subtle form of this is the conditioning that our market and advertising economy gets us to get as much as we can for giving as little as we can. We can be mindful of winning at whatever cost there is. We can be mindful of collecting material wealth. We can be mindful of gaining as much power as we can. The more acute form of this, in our ever-quickening evolution, or maybe devolution, into this post-factual, alternative factual, post-ethical world where truth is not respected and deliberately made to be confusing and obscure, where it is valued to be able to get away with anything, to say anything, and do anything in order to justify one's own outcomes. When there is less or zero accountability from our external culture, it is absolutely an imperative, an indispensable imperative for our internal efforts to have a moral barometer. Integrity. It is said in a classic wisdom that integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching. I would expand this. Our mindfulness expands this experience, that integrity is doing the wise and compassionate action when there is no material gain for us doing the action. Integrity is walking the highest path even when behavioral norms are at the lowest levels. Integrity is acting on behalf of others when we don't have to because we have some benefit or privilege or entitlement that protects us. Integrity is standing actively and not standing by in solidarity with those voices and abilities that have less volume or impact than ours. Integrity is being kind when everything around us is not. Integrity is loving when we don't ourselves feel loved. Integrity is holding to all these principles, even when there is an infinite number of distractions and seductions and judgments that seek to obliterate these principles. Without integrity, mindfulness, and I would extrapolate whether it's technological mindfulness or internal mindfulness, is morally meaningless. So what is our moment-to-moment practice of integrity? Where do you stand when now $21+ billion walls of fear, fueled by racial bitterness, are being designed to separate nations rather than create bridges of human understanding and connection? when $21 billion can buy enough food for 7 billion starving people. When $21 billion can create more clean water than twice the number of people in the world. When $21 billion can compensate 500,000 public school teachers for an entire year, what choices would our integrity make? And where does our integrity ask of us when our government of the people, by the people, and for the people is purely and only based on self-interest and self-defined facts by individuals or individual groups in power? Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King wrote, "There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular. But they must take it because conscience tells them it is right." Integrity is not a personal practice, but a collective one that transforms all of us in all our communities. There is a wholeness of our collective journeys. And even though we may sometimes feel that the struggle of the issues of immigration or intentional large-scale incarceration, discrimination, gun control, obstacles to health care, sexual violence, elimination of voting rights, or the state control of our bodily functions in public bathrooms, sometimes it can feel that they are experiences for other communities. We are tied together in a single garment of destiny, caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. That's Dr. King again. That is the way God's universe is made. That is the way it is structured. Because only in an ethically wholesome society can we create a healthy system, social, economic, political justice, not to mention the spiritual freedom of mindfulness. And since each society is made up of each of us, because each of us are part of that experience of being human, that ethical transformation begins here with all of us awakening together with integrity. We do need wisdom 2.0. We do need wisdom 3.0. And just as we need that, we need integrity ad infinitum. Thank you.
That's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I just want to give thanks to Kimmy, to Spring, to David and Larry, my colleagues at East Bay Meditation Center, our Sangha in Oakland. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that illuminating conversation and expanding conversation, guys. Everybody, we have a lot of people coming in from the sides to sit down. So if you're near the center and there's a seat beside you, could you please